them back to school, we had to move them from what they see in their community to get them to appreciate a light that, and you look at it, you realize that all you have to do is to get them to appreciate a light difference from what the community has shown them. Because yes, unfortunately, we come from communities that are limited, and that limits us in terms of what we think can be possible for us. But when you find that light, I remember as long as I lived, I didn't know somebody could actually be a transformational speaker and it can be a profession. Up until that was around my senior level when I met Dr. John D. Martini. We got picked from school to attend his motivation. And, as he was speaking, I'm like, this is exactly what I've always wanted. This is exactly what I want to do. And you look at it from that little spark, I knew it was capable. There is somebody out there that is doing something that is in relation to the dream that I've always had. And that basically means the dream that I've always had is not stupid. It is attainable and it is possible. And once you have that light in you, that desire, that spark, and your mind is actually aligned to that, there is nothing that can stop you from attaining that kind of a dream.
Okay, I have a follow-up question before Edmond comes and asks his. Okay, so I'm referring back to myself again, the village kid. So
Yes,
at 12 years old, I had the opportunity to and then by 5 a gang of 5 of the boys, they followed me in the woods and they wanted to rape me. Why? Because they were angry. Why is she always number one? Said my friend said, life, and I said, I'm still a virgin. And these guys were from the city. It's only God who saved me that day. I never went to the yeah, why they did not succeed. But so what I'm saying is, you've got the village kids got
I think that one, for some reason, we are still having a tricky setup in almost most of the villages and the countries that I've been to because that we carry. But one of the things that I think works best for us, and it has been working best for us, is when we meet such kids, when we meet
This meeting is being recorded.
you can set up, they say only 6 out of 10 of rape cases and molestation go unreported. And that's the reality that is. But in you not reporting, who are you saving? And I think that's one of the things that we always say, not even the community, you are helping the perpetrator. Unfortunately, even the people that are enforced, that should be protecting us, they haven't been trained enough to accommodate the concerns that we come up with. But that doesn't mean we have to stop talking. That doesn't mean we have to stop speaking out. Ma'am, hello?
Yes, I had to go and mute that person that was talking. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was saying, that doesn't mean we have to not, because somebody else, you are helping somebody else that might, because with the perpetrators, they are betting on you to be quiet so they can keep doing whatever that they're doing. I often tell the young in the villages, you and you go quiet about it. It's not helping you, but you're helping them to keep doing what they are doing, because at the end of the day, when you leave the village into another space where you feel comfortable, will keep doing what they're doing with them. So we need to get to a space where we realize we need to speak out. We need to radically raise our voice and speak out and speak about all these things that we are facing, so we could be able to help them that are coming after us. But at the end of the day, again, it shouldn't stop you from realizing your dreams. It shouldn't stop you from realizing the certainty and the possibilities of your dreams. Challenges will always be there, one way or the other. Now and then we'll all fall. But that doesn't mean where you're falling is where you end. You get up, you find a way of dusting yourself up, and you keep going, because you know the light that is in front of you is brighter than any other light that could have been.
So basically, what you're saying is we need to educate our youngsters into speaking up. And it's really kind of discouraging because I think I attempted to speak to my physics teacher and even the principal of the school in another school. The principal tried to do the same thing to me. And the
Mm.
physics teacher was asking me, "Oh, can you come to my house?" And I was all confused. Yeah, so it's
You know,
like I don't know, but the bottom line, you're saying the solution is we need to speak to our youngsters to speak up.
to speak up. I had a client some time back. This young lady came. She had run away from the village into the city, and when she got into the city, trying to get a job and everything, things couldn't work out. Up until for some reason she ended up with the group of women that are into prostitution. And for some reason, yes, she wasn't comfortable about it. Up until one day, she says one day she was supposed to meet up with the client, and they communicated where they're supposed to meet up around town. And as they communicated where they were supposed to meet up and everything, she left and went there. So where she was supposed to wait for this guy, it was next to a church. And as she was waiting, the guy calls in and say, "My wife came and blah blah blah. So I can't pick you up. Can you go back?" So as she was waiting for a combi to go back, she hears that the church is on, and she decides, okay, let me get by the church. She gets into the church. And as she gets into the church, the pastor starts praying for people in the church, and she gets prayed for. And the sermon that day was bouncing back and giving yourself a chance, giving life a chance. She was like, okay, fine, this is the message for me. After that very day, she decided, I'm not going back to that house of those girls. I'm going to try to get a job, even a maid or whatsoever. Stay in maid will work best for me. And she starts asking people around the mall if they're looking for a maid or whatever. And she gets somebody that says, okay, you can come in. I'm looking for a stay-in maid. I can come interview and everything. After the interview and everything, within a week, she got the job. She starts in as a stay-in maid. A month later, she goes to the church. She decides she's going to give a testimony. She goes up, she gives a testimony. After her testimony, the whole church claps and everything and blah, blah. church goes out. After church, the man in the church, those protocols and everything, they start asking for her number. She shares her number with them. When she gets home, she starts getting calls that say, how much? So sometimes the reason why I'm telling you this is because sometimes even in our worst, we would want to go and speak out. And in speaking out, it might lead to something else and something else. But that doesn't mean we have to actually give up at it. Speak until somebody be willing to listen. Because at the end of the day, when that one person that will be willing to listen hears you out, they become another voice that is speaking with you. And that is helping a lot other people that could have gone through the same thing that you went through. And it's helping other people that could have actually fallen into the same trap that you fell into. So to help them not to fall in the same trap, you just need to speak out. I know with her, I told her to say, you know what, one way or the other, that doesn't mean you have to go back into prostitution. It solidly means, okay, fine, there are people out there who have their bad intentions, but with their bad intentions, it shouldn't stop you from being who you have always intended to be. So one way or the other, with all those challenges, you keep pushing, you keep thriving ahead, and you keep speaking up until somebody is willing to listen.
Thank you so much. Edward, over to you, Edward. Constellation, your turn.
Yeah, man, thank you very much for the last speaker. I clearly listened to everything you said, but while you were speaking, it reminded me of because you are from Botswana.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So while you were speaking, it reminded me of my friend. I used to have a friend from Botswana. So she was in China. That was probably about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So what I know about her is she takes the Chinese people and foreigners to Botswana for tourism, like a tour guide. You get? So she was one of the first person from that your countryside that I saw that is doing something reasonable. Now I'm trying to everything you said now is totally the right mindset. But well, I'll be very sincere to you. It is a very complicated issue. This because your mindset you have right now is absolutely the right mindset. But my question to you is, minimum question to you is, what do you think you can do? What do you think you can do to impact people? Because everything you say right now, I understand. But trust me, there are millions of people in your country who don't understand. Because you ask them, they're everywhere. You can ask them, those people who are in school, for example, they will tell you when they graduate, they want to get a job. That is wrong mindset. You know, right? It's a wrong mindset. You graduate and you want to get a job instead of creating a job. So what do you think you can do from your side to help your people, as an example? That's my question.
So currently, I'm running 3 programs that are actually just intended to the empowerment. We have a program that is called A Tomorrow Woman that is fully on for girl child empowerment. And that is where we get to build a girl child beyond the stereotypes, the biasness, and ready them for a life beyond the glass ceiling. And we also have another program that we've been running for quite some time now that is called the Swiss knife theory. So the Swiss knife theory, this is where we say, okay, fine, as we come packaged with so much in us. We are packaged with so much, and the realization of the so much that is within you starts with you be willing to actually become what you were initially intended to be. Start with you wanting to reach your next level, your next best self. And yes, for some reason, it's sad that we come in communities where coaching, mentorship, and empowerment isn't something that we are so excited about. it's not something that we are so passionate about. Right now, we also have our academic excellence program that is to build a child beyond just the school mindset, classroom mindset of go to school, get a job and hike through the job and everything. Or if you're a girl, go to school, find a good man, get married, and be a good mother, be a good wife and everything. Yeah. We are trying to build beyond those mindsets. But yes, we do have challenges because we are in a community that hasn't reached full appreciation of mentorship. But I know without a doubt that as we keep going at it, as we keep reaching one kid at a time at it, they become in them paying it forward, they become the mentorship that is needed in their own villages, in their own societies, and in their own community. So there's a job being done. Bit by bit, we know it will reach the right people and the right mindset will be realized.
Okay, thank you very much. But let me narrow the question further. For example, if I should attend your program as a girl, okay, in your program, how can I gain from you? Can you be very specific? What can I gain? How can I gain from you? Or am I just going to listen to it from you and that's it? We're Africans. We love program in Africa. I'm sure you're aware of that. We love program, different kind of program, but it's not working. So what do you have on the table that is different from other people's program?
Okay.
If I attend your program, what can I gain? That's my question. If I should show up your program as a girl, what can I take home? Are you going to give me money? Something like, are you going to give me investment to run my business or something like that? Yeah. Okay. I think we lost you.
I'm trying to understand what can I get a part of it means. But what I know is with all the programs that we are running across Africa, they come with full mentorship. And our mentorship program is to ensure that we go step by step with you to the realization. Yes, of course, yes, like right now with the girls that we are having around Ghana, we would have a group of mentors that are to actually ensure that they meet up. If not meet up, they stay in conversation with them. In the villages around Botswana, we have mentors that actually carry on in mentorship with this group. In Zimbabwe, in Zambia, we ensure before we get to schools, we get to organizations, we first work with our group of mentors. The idea is to ready them for the program and to make sure that they understand the coaching and the mentorship that they are to offer. So one way or the other, it has been an exciting, and it has been exciting for us working with the young people, the youth and the girls and the women across, because with the program, we have seen a lot of good feedbacks. We've had women that came in and they broke into politics and they're doing quite well. We have had women that got into from the workspace into entrepreneurship, and they're doing quite well as entrepreneurs. So basically, I would say the mentorship is working a good deal.
Okay. Maybe we still have more questions for you, but maybe we'll take the next speaker for now. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. So the next speaker is I have a lot of questions for you more, but let the next guy speak, then come back to you again. So the next person is Evangelist Evangelist Kolade Shegu.
Kolade
Shegu. Yeah. So you can go ahead.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon to everyone on this program. I have had the opportunity of listening to some of the things, although I was going in and out. You must pardon me for that. Okay, I've been asked to speak on the topic life-changing steps to achieve your dream. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, sir, you are very audible.
Loud and clear. Right, thank you. Yeah, all right, thank you very much. Okay, I appreciate my friend Mike.
You're welcome,
for
sir. Yes, sir.
Having me on this program. It's nice seeing your face again. I'm actually in transit. That's why my video is not on. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay. I think this type of topic is very, very important, especially if we are going to consider what the African youth of today require or need. A lot of African youths are battling with the challenge of wanting to become great, wanting to become somebody, but unfortunately they are not there. They are not just there. So we need to continuously hammer this kind of topic in the minds of the average youths. Well, not only in Africa, but all over the world, but particularly Africa is bedeviled with all kinds of challenges. And one of the cause is the fact that dreams are coming, but dreams are not being actualized. So we need to talk about why dreams are not coming to pass, why dreams are not being actualized. I'm going to look at this point from a 7-point. I've identified some 7 points that I think is very, very important that we will understand in this topic, life-changing steps to achieve your dream. Number one is the identification of specific dreams. Identification of specific dreams. A lot of young people live their lives in pursuit of no particular dreams. By the time you ask a young man, what exactly is your dream? The answer you get most of the time is, I want to become rich. I want to have money. I want to become rich. I want to have a lot of money. So you find out that the guy you are talking about really doesn't have a dream. He doesn't know what he wants. All he wants is money. Anything that can bring money is his dream. Now, that's no dream. When a man wakes up and the only thing he wants to achieve is making money, that's not a dream. That's no dream. And that's why a lot of young people are driven into crime. They are driven into fraud, internet fraud, and all the likes. Because the guy never woke up with a dream. He didn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. All he cares about is, I need to make money. So one of the first things that everybody should understand is you must identify your specific dream. Who do you want to become? What do you want to become? In the next 10 years, where do you want to see yourself? What do you want to become in the next 10 years? Irrespective of how much money I'm making, life dreams are not measured by the amount of money that you have made, but about the aspect, the amount of impact that you have been able to make. That's what is important. Number 2, pursuing dreams despite obstacles. There are going to be obstacles. Let me go back to the first point, talking about dreams. When I was growing up, my father wanted me to be a lawyer. He wanted me to be a lawyer. Why? Oh, because lawyers are, there's so much aura about lawyer, especially when we're young. Lawyers are great people. Lawyers, they speak big, big English and all of that. So my father wanted me to be a lawyer. But I know deep down in me that, yes, law is not what I'm made out for. Something tells me I am not cut out to be a lawyer. So I told my father, I said, can you permit me to visit the law court? Let me visit one of the law courts and see what they do there. So out of my own volition, I took my time to visit a court of law in my town, a high court, and I witnessed what they were doing in the courts. The way the procedure was very, very boring, tedious, and cumbersome. The judge will tell the lawyers, go ahead, say one thing. And then after some time, the judge will say, okay, hold on. Let me write what you have said. The judge was actually writing with his hand everything the lawyer said. He had to write. And once in a while, he had to say, wait, hold on, let me write. And he will write. And I say, what? Is this what my father wants me to be? As young as I was 15, right there in the court, I made up my mind, I am not going to be a lawyer. This is not what I am cut out for. I like to see things happening. I don't like routine. This is too routine for my life. So I made up my mind. I told my father, I don't want to be a lawyer. Funny enough, I visited the same law court, that same court, about a month ago. That's now talking about more than 30 years after I'd made that decision. More than 30 years. I visited the same court. The procedure was still the same. And I said, thank God I'm not a lawyer. So you see, young people should understand that becoming your dream, achieving your dream, is not just about money. It's about what do you want to become? What do you want to become? Where do you want to see yourself in the next few years? So very, very important, talking about dreams. Now, I was mentioning the second point, which is that dreams must be pursued with or without obstacles. In fact, there are no dreams without obstacles. That's the truth. Every dream has obstacles. And so we must understand that when we have obstacles, that doesn't mean that that dream is not correct. It doesn't mean that it's not a good dream. Oh, I like to make example from the Bible. The story of Joseph, very good story. But a lot of people might want to say, oh, that's in the Bible, that's in the Bible, that can happen in those days. It still happens even now. It still happens even now. I'd always dreamed that I will act, I will be a movie actor one day. I'll be acting movies and I'll be using my movies to change lives. And as I was growing up, I used to act in my bedroom. I will act in the bedroom. I will stand in front of the mirror and I'll be acting because I wanted to act. I wanted to act. And I didn't get the opportunity to act until I got to the university. It was then I discovered that, come on, this is what I am created for. This is what I'm created for. And I identified my dreams. I identified what I should be doing, and I started doing it. I started doing exactly that. So you see, everybody must get to that point where you'll be able to say, this is what I want. And then there will be obstacles. One of the greatest obstacles I encountered was my father. My father told me that, oh, being an actor is not what is correct for me. He said he doesn't want me to be an actor. He doesn't want me to be. I said, no, acting for me is different. I want to use my acting to change lives. I want to use my acting to turn around lives. Lives will be blessed by the kind of acting I do. He said, no, my father stood as an obstacle. But thank God today, many years after my father understood that, oh, this is what this boy, is meant to be. And he allowed me to be who I want to be. So very importantly, dreams are going to come, but there will be obstacles. So every dream must face obstacles. And then number 3, I said, dreams are best when they are targeted at solving problems. So if a young man tells me about his dream, what are your dreams? Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. The first question I will ask is, what are your dreams? What problems are your dreams targeted at solving? What problems are your dreams targeted at solving? Every dream that is not targeted at solving a problem is a problem. Every dream that is not targeted at solving a problem is in itself a problem. And so if my dream is not targeted at solving human problems, then I am creating additional problems. So my dreams must be targeted at solving specific problems. Specific problems in my country, specific problems in my locality, specific problems in and around my environment. Wherever I find myself, my dreams must be targeted at solving problems. Okay, number 4, I said, you are best when you compete with yourself. Competing with yourself is your best competition. The best way to compete is to compete with yourself. Oh, thank God for that. One of my very popular saying that I tell young people, I say, you can't shine another man's shine. Nobody can shine your shine. I will shine my shine, and the other man will also shine his own shine. Nobody will shine my shine, and I will not shine another man's shine. So I am committed to competing with myself and myself alone. So whatever another man is doing, oh, I thank God. Congratulations for the exploits that you are making. I celebrate you. I celebrate other people when they are achieving, goals and their life's dreams. I celebrate them, but I am not intimidated. A lot of young people are intimidated because somebody is doing something, because somebody is doing this. Oh, I want to do the same thing. Why do you want to do it? Because somebody is doing it. That's not it. The best person to compete with is myself. I compete with myself. Oh, I hope I'm on.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
you're very good. Very good.
I have some follow-up questions, but I'll wait for you to finish first.
Yeah.
Okay, I just found out that everywhere was quiet. I thought, all right. So I was also talking about the fact that the best person to compete with is yourself. The best person to compete with is yourself. Compete with yourself. And how do you compete with yourself? Making sure that your best is yet to come. My best is yet to come. I want to be better, develop my skills, get more knowledge in my field, gathering of additional skills and information. And that takes me to the number 5 points that I will discuss this afternoon. Getting more information, additional skills. Is it too late for anybody to go back to school? No, not at all. I'm back in school, for example. I'm working on my doctorate. I'm 52 and I'm back in school. I should have done that before, but I didn't have time to do that. Now I feel compelled that I need to go back to school, and I'm back in school. So it's not too late to go back to school. It's not too late to learn a trade. I find a lot of young people, especially in churches, in our churches. I'm a pastor. I find a lot of young people who are bent on doing only one thing: prayer, 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 prayer. And as a pastor, I said to them, come on. Prayer is God helping you to do what you cannot do. Prayer is God helping you to do what you cannot do. But there are several other things that you can do that God will not do for you. So we need a lot of young people. We need young people to understand this, that you need to go back and learn a trade, get a skill. Many times I want to employ graduates in Nigeria. I found that many times they are not even employable, because I ask, when I want to employ in my organization, I hardly look at the certificates. I just say, young man, this is what I want you to do. Now do it for me. I found that many young graduates are not good at all, because they don't have any skill added to the knowledge, added to the education, added to the academics they have gotten in school. So very importantly, adding skills to academics is vital. Adding skills, I take my children, I allow my children, as soon as they are of age, I tell them, find a trade that you love. Find a trade that you love and start working on it. And it has really benefited my children a lot. It has been a huge benefit to them that I push them to go and learn. Okay, number 6, it's very important that as you are growing in life and as you are identifying your dreams and you want to achieve your dreams, learn to let go. Letting go. Forgiving. Forgive people who have offended. A lot of offenses are going to come your way in life. By the time you hold on, this one has offended me, this one has offended me. Many times when you are under pressure of somebody has offended me, this one has offended me, you are not able to think straight. You are not able to think straight. Many times the man who is going to even help you, push you to your point of destiny, has offended you. And because you have not forgiven him or her, you are bound by that offense. You are going to lose what he has in stock for you. So more importantly, forgive, let go, and let God. Finally, and as I round up now, frugality Frugality remains the spirit that nurtures dreams. Frugality remains the spirit that nurtures dreams. Every young man and young woman who is going to become great in life must learn the essence of frugality, the ability to keep resources, the ability to manage resources. Oh, I see a lot of young people who have become something little, but in the outward, what do you see? Decoration of the outward. Decoration of the outward. When I see a young man who has made some little income, and the first thing he wants to get is a supercar. He wants to get a supercar. He wants to dress to kill. He wants to wear designer suits, designer shirts, designer this, designer that. I shake my head in pity. I shake my head in pity. Because what do I see? I see a young man who will soon have regrets. So frugality is still very, very important in life. The ability to keep resources and delay gratification. The ability to delay gratification. Anyone who knows how to gather, but who lacks frugality, dreams might not come to pass for such people. In life, I have learned that very well. And God has taught me how to be frugal. Keep resources. Delay gratification. You can always enjoy later, but delay gratification. That doesn't mean you're going to suffer. That doesn't mean you will suffer yourself. Of course, I don't suffer myself. I enjoy my life, but I do not lavish. I do not spend carelessly. And these are very, very important, that your dreams must come to pass. You must learn the spirit of frugality. Well, we cannot finish talking about achieving life goals and dreams. There will always be several things to say. But let me stop here and allow the moderator to go ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Mind blowing.
I have some follow-up questions before I can ask my question. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so please, I would like to know, the first question is, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am. I said,
okay, and what church do you attend? Okay.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Okay. So let me ask my question now, because
an evangelist for that matter. Congratulations. An evangelist for that matter.
Yes, I'm an evangelist. I'm a pastor.
Yeah, and the redeem is
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher also.
Okay, and the redeem, if I get it correctly, the redeem means Adeboye or Edipo.
Pastor Adeboye is my general overseer.
Adeboye, okay. So my question is, you mentioned something talking about they should compete it with themselves, right? Like people should focus on themselves more in your speech. Okay.
Yeah.
But the first question is, do you think that's very, very necessary? Because I'm sure you are aware that most people don't even know themselves. So if they compete on themselves, that is a self-failure. So can you expand on that area?
Competing with yourself actually means becoming a better you. Becoming a better you. That's what it means to compete with yourself.
Okay, so how do I become a better me when I don't know myself, for example?
That's exactly what we are saying. That's the first point I made, that you must identify who you are. Identify your life dreams. What do I want to become? Who do I want to become in the next? For example, now at my age, I'm 52. I'm already looking forward to my retirement. I know that in the next 8 years, I will be 60. So I'm already making plans. I'm already thinking of what I want to be by 60, when strength will no longer be what it used to be. I don't deceive myself that at 60, I'll be able to do what I did at 40. So I'm already planning towards 60. I'm planning towards 70. So everybody, my late father helped me. When I was growing up, approaching my teenage, my father told me, he said, have you heard people say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. I said, yes. My father said, don't mind them, they are stupid. Fool at 14 is a fool forever. Thing, not 40. I said, what about a fool at 40? My father said. So I changed that word. A fool at 14 is a fool forever. A fool at 40 is dead. So before I became 14, I was, my father had pumped so much into my head. A fool at 14 is a fool forever. A fool at 14 is a fool forever. So I made up my mind by 14. So if I look at a young man, I say, how old are you? And he tells me 14. I say, you're an adult. You're an adult. As far as I'm concerned, 14 is the age of adulthood. 14 for me is the age of adulthood. Because that's what my father inputted into my subconsciousness. That a fool at 14 is a fool forever. Oh, what do we have in Africa? A lot of millions of fools. Because the average 14-year-old in Africa does not even know anything. And he doesn't even know anything except eat 3 square meal and go to sleep. So that's what we are teaching young people today. That you must understand who you are, even before you are 14. Before you are 14. So that's very vital. Hello?
Yeah, sure, I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think it's much clearer now. Which means to know yourself, first of all, according to you, and to know yourself first, then communicate with yourself, to be a better person. Yeah, I think it makes more sense that way. Then the other follow-up question is, now, you as a pastor, you as an evangelist, so what when you look at, for example, you look at other countries, okay?
Network.
Your pastor, if I should quote him well, one of the other people, that's why I asked you, because I wanted to come from their knowledge to attack you here somehow. So
I can't get you.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Network. Okay, now I'm hearing you.
Okay, cool. So I'm trying to draw a relationship to your pastors. What they said. One of them said that the reason why Nigeria, because I believe you're Nigerian, so he said the reason why Nigerian is having an economic crisis or is poor is because, in quotes, the number of people who are thinking is less than the number of people who are not thinking. So that's why we have a poor nation. So my question to you is, from your view, what do you think that could be applied to Africa or to Nigeria so that they can, based on our Zoom topic is achieve your dream, so they can achieve their dreams? What do you think is the key things to apply? Because I'm sorry. Because when you look at other countries, the US, the UK, some part of Europe, you can see they are doing very well, despite they are having less resources than some of the mentioned countries in Africa. So what do you think is the key area? What model do you recommend? Because just talking is not working, because many people have spoken. So what do you think, on your own view, is the highest priority we need to imply?
Let me start by saying,
yeah. Okay.
Nigeria is not
poor.
Unfortunately, the fact that you have riches, the fact that you have large resources does not make you rich. The fact that you have resources does not make you rich. You might be rich in resources, but turn out to become poor. And that is exactly what has happened to Nigeria. Rich in resources, but turn out to be poor because the people are poor. Now, how do we get out of this situation? We need to impute into the mindset of young people or our people that productivity is the game, is the rule of the game. Nobody becomes rich without productivity. The idea that I can become rich by crook or by some other means apart from productivity we must check it out of the mindset of the average African man. The mindset that, oh, spirituality will make me become rich, going to church, going to mosque, pray to God. The more I pray, the richer I become. The more I pray, the wealthier I become. That mentality must change. I am privileged to have been under a wonderful African. I have been privileged to have been trained under a wonderful African, an educationist, Dr. Tai Shulani of blessed memory.
Okay.
I went to Mayflower School, and in Mayflower School, we were taught productivity. In Mayflower School, we were taught how to use our hands, make wealth. I learned carpentry. I learned goat keeping. These are some of the things I learned while I was in secondary school, and they benefited me when I became a man of my own. The need to teach more of this in secondary schools, in our universities. That productivity is what will make us become what we are. Africa is not poor. If Africa is poor, will not be coming here and smiling home. If Africa is poor, the Indians will not be coming here and be smiling back home. So it means that Africa is not poor. Nigeria is not poor. Foreigners are coming here, they are smiling back home. So Nigeria cannot be poor. But the mindset is what really matters.
Yes.
And the more we change this mindset.
Pastor.
Yes.
Let me just give a short follow-up question. But please, if you can answer it very short, so that we can move to our next speaker. Then we'll come back to you again. So the last question here is quoting what you said, that Nigeria is not poor, but according to the world statistics. Sorry.
Yes, Nigeria is not poor.
Okay, cool. So according to the world statistics, more than 50%. That is the rank for poor country. Okay, because now we should talk to statistics. Yeah, Nigeria is not poor. That is just for that's just on the should I say on the that's just visual. But the reality is that Nigerians are living. Yeah. Okay. The reality is that. Yes. I understand, Mr.
Yeah. It is Nigerians that are poor, not Nigeria.
Yes, Pastor. We get that point. So... But according to the world statistics, okay, less than 50%, more than. Yes, I understand that point. According to the world statistics, which all countries follows, okay, including the United Nations and other bodies, more than 60% of Nigerians live below $1 per day.
Yeah, correct.
That's why. Yeah. So what do you say about that? More than 60% of Nigerians live below. They cannot spend $1. That's what it means per day.
It hasn't negated what I said. Okay. It is the people that are poor. The land itself is rich. The land is rich. Okay. It hasn't negated. I agree with the statistics. I'm a pastor. I see poverty all around me. I see people who are poor, people who beg, but I am telling you that it is the people who don't have understanding. As we are talking, Nigeria is one of the countries in the world where you can easily make wealth. Easily. If you understand how to make wealth, there is wealth in Nigeria. I mean every inch of the world.
Good evening. Yeah. Can I have one question? Can I have one question?
We'll come back to you because we have other speakers waiting, please.
All right.
Go ahead, please. Yeah. Go ahead with the question, please. Question? Yeah. If it's brief, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't think it will be brief, but my question is brief. I just heard him saying that some of the youngsters, they dream of becoming a priest or a pastor. And they see that as a big achievement. Now, my question is, why? I mean, why would so many, and why are there so many priests, so many religious leaders in poor countries like Nigeria, for example.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm sorry to say it like that,
Yeah,
but
go ahead,
I've
go
seen
ahead.
and
Yeah.
heard too much of this, and
Mm.
I hear you yourself, you are a pastor as well, right? And everybody sees it like, okay, if you are a pastor, at least you can make money. How do you see that? Do you see that as something
Uh,
good? And do you
can you just make
see
your
that there
question
must...
very direct so that he can probably give you a straight
Okay,
answer? Yeah.
okay. Do
I
you think
understand.
it's a good... he understands me. Okay, good. Could you please answer my question?
Okay. So please, if you give us a very brief answer
Okay.
so we can attend to the next speaker as well. Thank you.
Okay, well, quite unfortunately, yes, you are correct that a lot of people see the gospel or they see ministry as a means to make income. But that's not it. That's not what it's supposed to be. And again, that is not what everybody does. No, that's not correct. For example, I'm a pastor and I'm also a businessman. I do business. I am into properties. I do properties. I sell land and I buy land. So it's not every pastor in Africa that depends on the income of the church. There are cheats like that, but not everybody is doing that. I am not doing that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. We'll come back to you because I think we have a lot of questions again for you. So Emilia,
Yes.
please, you can go ahead with the next
Many
speaker.
questions.
Yeah. Emilia, please, you can go ahead to introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Okay. Maria, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Who's the next speaker, please?
Yeah, I think Mr. Busaya Omidiora has been waiting.
I think there's a lady from Botswana. I think she's still on the platform, right?
Yeah, she has presented.
Okay, if she could then please introduce herself.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, good afternoon. We're happy to hear from you.
Just a moment.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is nice once again to come into your view this weekend. It's so exciting that on this platform we have been enriching ourselves. Before I go on, I just want to advise that maybe we should be keeping all our questions within the ambit of the topic. There are a lot of people that they are listening to us and they are coming because of the topic we have. So I would just advise the moderators and those who are asking questions to limit it to the discussion, even if the personality is an herbalist or pastor, that's just by the way. But the topic in focus, if you want more information about their job, their personality, we can put it across to them at another level so that people will not come here to get misinformed. You know, the issue of faith is so personal to people in Africa. And once you touch that area, you may always miss other areas. So if you don't believe in Christianity, don't go into that when you come to the secular issue. Leave it for them and let another topic undo that. Having said that, I want us to just expect the best on this platform as we come from time to time. I like to discuss ideas. You know, it was Eleanor Roosevelt that said that when the great men meet together, they discuss ideas. But when the average people, when they meet, they discuss events. And the small mind, they discuss people. And you know, the small people, they cause trouble. So if we want to really make progress, we should discuss ideas, how our nations can move forward, how our people can move forward. And that is what prompted me to write the book, Life Changing Step to Achieve Your Dream, which was written last year. It's published here in Italy and is equally available in Nigerian market. Hopefully, I believe that it will be available in Chinese markets at any moment from now. And I wrote this book essentially to really shape the mind of most of our people. You see, when the first speaker was presenting, I was opportune to listen to some of the questions presented by our good sister, By Waters. and she was talking about challenges she faced when she was young. Everybody faces challenges in life. Whether you live in America, you live in Canada, you live in Nigeria, even if you live under the earth, you are facing one challenge or the other. But the ability for you to overcome those challenges and prepare yourself for the future determines what comes out of it. So there is nothing as if in Africa we don't achieve dreams. Maybe we don't have many numbers like they have in other countries, but we have dreams. Even for appearing on this screen for you, for me, it's just a dream come true. Many of us have entered plane, like our sister was saying. She used to look at the plane in the sky in those days, and now she has traveled all over the world. I believe she lives in the United States. That's a dream. A dream does not have to be a big dream, but you have, the long-term dream, you have the short-term dream, but so far you can get things that you wish you can do, get them done. That is a dream achieved. And that's why when we are talking about achieving dreams, it's not only about just talking about just coming out of a problem and having all the things you have in this world, like becoming the Mark Zuckerberg of this world. No, but you can achieve a dream by giving your children good education. That is a dream achieved. You can achieve a dream by succeeding, to school yourself despite all the challenges. Maybe you have parents who don't believe in education and you are able to, force your way, quote and unquote, to go to school and you come out better. That's the dream achieved. So a dream does not actually need to be that big, of big magnitude dream, but it can be a small dream, it can be a big dream. But the combination of the small dreams can now result in the bigger dream. And there's a Chinese proverb that says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. So if there's anybody on this platform, you are listening to me and you are thinking about your dream, I am telling you that the time to start achieving that dream is now, because opportunity don't happen. You have to create them. And if you don't create the opportunities you want, you cannot achieve any dream. It is Henry Ford that said the whole secret of a successful life is to find out what one's destiny needs to do and then do it. So if your dream is to start, preparing some African food in such a way that it tastes so nice and people are coming to buy that, that is a dream. And go ahead and pursue the dream. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you are waiting for tomorrow and you're saying, oh, I need a big vision, I need this, you may never achieve any dream. The time to do that is now. And as you now plan and start on the dream, all other things can be synchronizing and following you as you are going along. So I wrote the book, Life Changing Steps to Our Dream, purposely to help us to, bring our ideas and our dream into reality, because many of us, we have so many ideas in our head. And if you are not able to successfully bring this idea into fulfillment, you have not done anything. For instance, I made up my mind to write a book. But if you check my diary, I have so many manuscripts I've been writing for more than 2 decades. I will write, write fiction, write play. After some time, I will stop. Then start another book again, I will stop. But last year, I made up my mind, or 2 years ago, during this coronavirus COVID-19 period, there was a lockdown, so I was at home, and I made up my mind once and for all, I must achieve my dream. Why did I do that? Because I realized that sometimes when you run up and down and make so much money, money is not everything. Somebody has told us today, but you need a legacy. You want to put your idea in print. You want to leave something for the future generation to benefit. So when you achieve your dream, sometimes it's not only about you just achieving something, big and making the money. No, but you are laying a legacy for others, that when you achieve your dream, others can come in to achieve their own dream by connecting and plugging into your own dream, which you have achieved. So that's why you have to understand that, you need to do something of a value. It was Abbas Epstein that says that try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value. You must add value. When you're adding value, you are fulfilling the dream. Look at many of us now, we are using Zoom. A gentleman put codes together to ensure that people can meet from all over the world. So someone in China, someone in the United States, someone in Beijing, someone in Nigeria, someone in Botswana, someone in Italy. We can converge under a platform and we can see ourselves and listen and communicate. That is a dream achieved. And if you look at it now, it has added the value. So many of us, we have to pay for the services. So when you are looking at your dream, is it going to make money? Of course, making money is part of it, but it's not the real goal. When you achieve that, when you have a vision, there will be a provision. And when the vision can add value to people's life, people will find, they will look for you and pay for it. So we need to look at adding value to people in Africa, adding value to the girls, adding value to the boys, encouraging them they can do something. Maybe your dream is to create an NGO, and the NGO will taking care of children that are, that have challenges.
I would like to pause you.
That is a dream. So don't look at dream as only just, having the money and, setting up a company or writing a book. Yeah. Any little thing you do that makes
I would like to pause you for a while.
Is a dream. And if you do this, you have achieved something. So when I wrote the book, I look at it that, look, I need to pass something to people. I need to let people know that when they have opportunity to do something, they must do that. And they must not delay. If you read the book, there are so many things. I listed 50 steps. But, for the purpose of this, our meeting, it will not be enough to do that. But I tell you that you are listening to me today and you have lost your job or you have lost opportunity. That is an opportunity for you to do something. Sometimes when you lose your job, you don't see yourself as being sacked, but you are being seen and somebody who has been relieved to go and fulfill your destiny, to go and create something for the world. Many people, if you look at the history, it is after they were sacked from their job or something that they think of using the talent they have. And the scripture says that the gift of a man, it maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. When you put your idea on the print, you can achieve. Since I wrote the book last year, I've met a lot of people that ordinarily I wouldn't have met. And when I tell them that I want to see you, they say, who are you? I'm an author. What is the title of the book? I tell them the title. They say, you can come in. And I've met some of them, they tell me, look, how do you put the trim, how do you put your thought down? Because the person that can write a book is not the only one that just has the command of English or whatever language. No, you must be somebody who is resilient. You must be courageous. You must be somebody that will not give up easily, because so many factors will come in as you are trying to pursue your dream to limit you. But if you want to achieve your goal, if you want to achieve your dream, you must be relentless. You must be focused. You must have a goal. And when you put all this together, you must dream that goal. If you don't dream it, you can never achieve it. It was James Cameron that said, if you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. So if you plan to do something and you set it ridiculously high and you fail, you have achieved something. You want to set up a business, the business failed, you have not failed. The business has failed, but you have not failed. It's like a waiter, and there's a party and he's serving people maybe drinks, and he's passing around and showing them, can you take the drink? And they're saying, no, 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 no. The waiter is not being rejected. The drinks, the cups, the bottles or drinks, the cups, they are the thing being rejected. So when you plan your dream and it's so big and it's so ridiculous that when you tell your mates, when you tell your friend, these and these are the things I want to do, and they tell you, go and sit down. That is a dream. That is a dream. And when you do that, you begin to pursue that. It was Jim Rohn that said that if you're not willing to take the risks, to reach the usual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. Many a time in Africa, so many young men, they have tried some things, they fail, they come back again, they fail, they come back again, and they become success. But many, many people in Africa, many of our young ones, when they fail once, they said, no, I can't pursue that dream again. I cannot follow that dream again. Let me go and look for a job. No, you must pursue it again. It is part of the equation. You are going to fail, and nobody starts any dream, and the dream just jumpstart and just move like that. No, even God at creation, when he created man, that was a challenge. And for some time, that was a temporary challenge, because the plans that God had concerning man could not be achieved. But God did not give up. And if God did not give up, you should not give up on your dream. You should pursue it. After you have gotten all your dream in your mind and you are pursuing it, there will be challenges. There will be challenges. But you have to know that opportunity does not happen. You have to create them. You have to look for the opportunity. You have to go out after your dream. And there will be challenges on your way. But when those challenges come, what do? Should I give up? No, don't give up. Should I just bury my head on you and be calling for pity party? No. Continue, change your strategies. Look for the things that work for you. And when you strategize your plan, you can always achieve your dream. And more importantly, you must believe in this dream. If you have a dream and you don't believe in that dream, you can never achieve it. You must believe that this dream is possible. You must believe that I have the capacity. You must believe that I can make it happen. And your dream must be something that must be seemingly beyond your capability. My dream cannot be just waking up this morning and eating a plate of rice. That is not a dream, because the rice is available. I can buy it in the market. But you must have a dream that when you tell your people, they tell you, come and go and sit down. This is unbelievable. This is unachievable. That is a dream. And when you have that kind of dream, you can pursue that. You can pursue that. You can have a dream, for instance, you want to have an endowment for your college and give them $50 million. It is possible. It is possible. It may look big, but it is possible. If you believe it, it can happen. And after that, you must see it. You must see it. If you have a dream and you cannot see that dream, please don't talk about any dream. You must be personally convinced that this dream is possible. And that was why Charles Darwin says that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. You must be responsible to change. You must have a mentality that things can happen. You know, many people in Africa, and I'm mentioning Africa because I come from Africa. A lot of people, when you mention that your dream is possible, they tell you, forget about all this motivation. No, even God is a motivator. God is a motivator. He told the people when they were living in Egypt, he said, look, the land I am sending you to is a land that is flowing with milk and honey. You know, I've read something about Israel. When you go on the street of Israel, you cannot see milk and honey on the street. No, but what God was, that land opportunity. That land has a lot of food. You can till the ground. If you can work it out, it can work out. And that's what was, you know, when my brother was talking, you know, it was asked a question about Africa being rich, and there's a question about the issue is not about Nigerian being rich in terms of values that we can see, but it is rich in resources. It is rich in resources.
I have a follow-up question.
The gold, the iron, the oil, all the things that are not tapped. If you can tap it, like God was telling the people in the Bible that if you can see that land and go there and till the land, it will become a success. And if you go to Israel today, a small nation, tiny nation, is expanding to the world, is exporting to the world. Very small country, because they have a dream. And the dream was backed up with action. So you must back up your dream with an action. If you fold your hand and you are waiting that, oh, somebody has motivated you, let him come and help you to. I cannot help you to do that. I don't know your dream. I don't even know you. I can't even see you. But you have to know that this is a dream that is in my heart. And I want to go for that dream. And when you pursue it with all relentlessness, with all courage, with all commitment, you can achieve it. You can achieve it. And that's the only thing I have to tell you today.
Yeah, Mr.
Somebody said that if you are willing to do more than you are paid to do, eventually you'll be paid to do more than you do. Many of us, we have a gift. You can talk. That is a gift. Why don't you harness that gift and begin? But you are working with somebody, no, I need to keep my job. I need this salary. It will be tough. Nobody's telling you that it will be easy. But when you pursue it, and you pursue it, and you fail, and you rise again, and you fail, and you rise again. Look at children, for instance, when they are growing to walk. The child starts to walk, and he falls. He tries again, he falls. He tries again, he falls. Does the mother say, please don't try again? This baby, I don't want your knees to be injured. No, don't try. No. Just remain crawling. It will crawl forever. You need to rise and fall. You know, somebody was mentioning Africa. Look at the history. I live in Italy. This country has, you know, a good history of thousands of years, even before Christ. They've risen, they've fallen. They've risen, they've fallen. And up to now, they are still falling. But they don't have any fear to try. So we should not see Africa as hopeless. Africa has a lot of hope. Nigeria has hope. Botswana has hope. Ghana has hope. If we can begin to have dreams, and we are electing leaders that have dreams, we can achieve a lot. Yes. I don't want a leader that can tell me I want to do this. I want a leader that has a dream. What's the dream for my child? The dream for my family, the dream for my community. That is what we should be looking for, not the guy that just has so much qualification and he has nothing up his head. So what I'm saying this afternoon is that when we have a dream, we want to achieve that dream, we must also be passionate about the dream. You know, Walt Disney says that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And that's the only challenge we have. Many Africans, we don't have any courage to pursue the dream.
I would like to.
We don't have any courage to pursue the dream. We try something. Look at education, for instance.
I
went to
I am so excited to hear all this. Hello.
For a 4-year course. 7 years in the university.
Hello.
Not because we failed, because that was all this tried by the lecturer.
Hello. Sorry. Is anybody hearing me? Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you.
I was determined because my mother told me, and I was determined. I would work in the night. I would go to the school in the day.
Yes, Surya, we can hear you.
So what
you can hear me? Oh, that's fantastic.
Because
I wanted to ask a question.
We must have the relentlessness. We must have the
Can you hear us? Is he on speaker?
When you have all this dream, you have lined it up, you must take action.
Did you guys mute him or what? Because I cannot.
Action is the problem in Africa. You know, many of us we are like
hunters. We can hear you.
When the otters go to the forest to get a game.
Also, Busayo, I think you muted us or you.
But before he fires, what does he do?
Busayo,
he aims at it.
You can stop now. People want to ask questions.
But many of us are just aiming.
I think he's muted or
you are aiming.
I don't think
some of us are even doing better. We are not just aiming, we are even setting it, but we are not firing. My brother fire, my sister fire. The antelope will not wait for you forever. The antelope is just eat and go.
I think we'll have to mute you so that so we can move on.
Propeller. That is what you need to need.
Just mute it. If you mute it, then maybe you will realize.
People are waiting to talk.
It's not enough.
If you mute him, just mute him.
You must go
mute him from our side. Mute him.
I think we should just give him 2 minutes to complete.
People that you can see in this world, they are doers. They are not
we can mute him from our side, please.
I'm talking about the Facebook guy.
Busayo.
Or all the other guys that make it. Even this Musk, that's the Tesla owner, all of them, they are action people. They are doing something. They are impacting the world. They are buying. They are selling.
So let's mute.
Okay. It seems like this topic is a very, very interesting topic today. But I would like to ask a question to Otto Busayo. Maybe one of the speakers can help us respond to the question on his behalf. Otto, you can hear us now, right?
Sorry, I don't know that you have not been hearing me. Hello?
No, we can hear you, but we're trying to call your attention for a while. Hello? But it seems like you.
Hello?
Yeah, I want to ask you a quick question. You can hear me, right? Can you hear me, please, Mr. Otto?
Hello?
Okay, you can hear me now, right? Hello?
Hello, you've not been hearing me for some time?
No, we can hear everything you said. We were trying to call your attention. I can hear you clearly. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Busayo. Hello?
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. You have lost me for some time. Am I correct?
No. I caught everything you said. Actually, I have a follow-up question on that, but we will appreciate if you can give us a very short answer to the question we'll ask you right now, please.
Okay, go ahead. God bless.
Okay, so from what you said, you mentioned that money is not everything. That it should have a goal, like based on kind of like a summary of what you said. So the question is, don't you think because I will speak from the aspect of Africa now, okay? Probably there might be some Asians here watching us today, but I will try to limit this question for Africa. However, it applies to Asians and other countries too. I mean, countries that are poor by international ranking. So there was a guy who was asked some time ago. His name is Bushiri, and he's from I think he's from Malawi. He's a pastor. He's a prophet. So a presenter, a TV broadcaster asked him a question on national TV that why do you sell your water and your clothes, because he's a prophet. So Bushiri's question to them was, why do you buy the Bible from London? Because the Bible is a trade, it's a business that is being sold. It's the word of God, but it's being sold from UK. It's printed there. So he asked them, why do you buy the Bible from London? Why do you buy the rosary from Rome? Because those are business. So these are the guys. So this guy, Bushiri, he believed, he's not hiding it, he believed clearly that the African people always engage in charity, and that's why they are poor. So when you say the word that money is not everything, so can you make it more clear to us? Money is not everything, but you need to buy Bible. Money is not everything, but have you? I don't know if you check the statistics of Nigeria, for example. 10% die from malaria every single year. That's just malaria alone. What about fever? What about typhoid? What about other things? So can you make it clear to us, for people watching this program, what do you think is your suggestion? Because words alone is not the solution. What do you think?
Thank you very much.
What mindset do you think they should have? Can you be more specific? Yeah.
I didn't say money is not important, so that must be a misunderstanding.
Okay.
I said money is not on the front burner. When you have a dream, money is part of what you get, but you don't just go out and say, I want to make money by having a dream. So money is going to come in, is a byproduct of dream. The dream is value. When you're adding value, I mentioned value. When you're adding value, for instance, if I publish a book, the book is going to make impact and bring me money when people read it and they can appreciate it. So the value area is more important. If you look at the Zoom we are using now, the guy that created it is adding a value. We can use it, but we pay. So it doesn't need to beg us. We are the one that have to look for them. So I'm not saying money is not important. But you know, I've said it at the onset as well. Let's leave issue of religion out of the discussion. When we have a discussion for religion, we take that one. I don't want to us sentiment. If we don't believe in anything, let's leave it out. What we are talking about today is life changing steps to achieve your dream. Let's limit all our questions to that. If you can do that, it will serve a lot of purpose. Thank you very much.
Okay, so in conclusion, just to get something more concrete, more specific from you, in this money and value in the scale of 100, like how do you place them?
You are placing them on they are dependent on each other. When you add value,
intertwined.
When you add value, you have peace, you have progress, you have achievement, you have breakthrough, and you have money. You know, it's not enough to just have money and you don't have all of those things. What is the point in having money? You can't enjoy the money. So you have every other thing, but you need to pursue the dream first. But when you pursue the dream and you come out of it and you have achieved it, all of that things will synchronize and will fall in place for you.
Okay, I get it. Thank you very much. Money and value are intertwined. That's the message. Money and value are intertwined together. Thank you very much
Edmund,
for your time.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in here, please?
Mr. Kingsley is the next speaker. Okay, please go ahead, Emilia.
Okay.
Emilia, go ahead, please.
Just very quickly before we run out of time, we have an author in the house. Her name is Miss Gloria Brown. She just wants just a couple of minutes to bring in a quick input. Let's give her the chance, please. Miss Gloria Brown, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, please, Miss Gloria Brown. Then Mr. Kingsley, please, you go next after her. Thank you.
Miss Gloria?
Miss Gloria, you can go ahead, please. I think she's muted. Let's see.
Miss Gloria, no, she's unmuted. Yeah, go ahead, Miss Gloria. Go ahead.
Miss Gloria, go ahead. Otherwise, Mr. Kingsley or Bia Fule will take over.
Yeah, we cannot hear you, Miss Gloria. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Mr. Kingsley, go ahead, please. Mr. Kingsley Obia Fule.
Obia Fule.
Yeah, Obia Fule.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Oh.
Good evening. We welcome you.
Good evening. It's good to be here. I actually have been having fun here, enjoying everything that has been said. Actually, every speaker here has something great to share. I've actually also been taking notes myself. It's really wonderful. Thank you very, very much.
That blue line. Yes.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
basically, the two speakers who spoke before when I came in, I think they've actually touched quite a number of important areas when it comes to identifying dreams, overcoming obstacles, having a specific purpose in mind, and then, going all out to pursue your dream and all. They've actually spoken at length. I want to come from quite a different angle right now. There are a few things I highlighted here I want to talk about, but first of all, let me talk about service. We are looking at life-changing steps to achieve your dreams, and I want to talk about service. And I would also bring this down to the mindset of quite a number of young people, especially in the African terrain, or let's say within Nigeria, from where I am reaching out to you right now. Many people dream of becoming something great. Many people aspire to become big names in different industries, sectors, and sphere of life. But there is one thing that most people don't understand, especially the young people. Some of these things will not be handed over to you. It will not be given to you like a plaque or like an award and say, okay, this is the achievement you've been actually looking for. You have to walk your way up to that place. And one of the ways that we can actually walk our way up is through service. And this is one language that young people in our time, in this generation, do not understand. Everybody wants to become a boss. Everybody wants to become great, but few persons understand the importance of service. And now when I'm talking about service, I'm talking about, that the ability to deny yourself of certain rights and privileges, to serve a worthy cause that would, avail you the opportunity to learn, to grow, and then also, for you to have a platform or a standing where you can leverage on to become that thing that you want to be. For example, it's just like someone who wants to be a public speaker, and then you can't just become that renowned, well-known public speaker overnight. There is a place for growth. There is a place for you to skill up. There is a place for you to develop, to become better. And one way to actually, get to that place is through service. Because in the place, in trying to, or in serving other people, in serving a worthy cause, you enjoy the opportunity of growth. You enjoy the opportunity of mentorship. These things make the journey easier for you to actually reach that dream. Because I usually say that life is very difficult for anyone who has refused to serve. Because if you don't find a worthy cause to serve, life is actually difficult. I usually say it is not easy for a man who has not served to be served. Many people want to be served. Many people want to be recognized. But until we begin to emphasize or ring it, into the subconscious of our young people, that to actually get up there, you must also have a proven record of support. You must also come to that point where you've supported others to go up. In that way, it becomes easy for you to also be lifted up. I don't know if you can still hear me clearly.
Your voice is very audible. It's clear. You can go ahead, please.
Okay, so it's very easy to be lifted when you open up yourself for service. These days you see young people leaving their jobs. For some, it's a very legitimate reason, but for some other people, it's the cliche. I just want to become a boss. They are tired of the 9 to 5. Some tell you that entrepreneurship is the in thing now. That is what pays the bills. But for any business person who is here, you will understand with me that I think one of the most difficult things to do is in the journey of entrepreneurship. It's not the bed of all roses. And so if you don't have that strong will and heart, you cannot actually travel well in this journey. But you see young people who are busy pursuing something that is not worthwhile in the name of, it's going to work out tomorrow, it's going to work out next tomorrow, it's going to work out next year, and it doesn't work out. Like I usually tell some people, I said it is better to be involved in 1% of something that is working than to own 100% share of something that is not working. It is better to have a single percentage in something that is moving and growing than to own 100% share of something that is dead and not growing. And that is the main thing happening right now. Many young people, in the name of pursuing a dream, in quotes, pursuing something that is really not alive, when they ought to avail themselves to service, because it is in that place of service that mentorship is experience, growth is experience. And then that brings me to another point: relationship. When you're talking about how to achieve life-changing steps to achieve your dream, relationship is one key factor actually before you can get there. Most people don't understand that God doesn't send down money from heaven. I see it happens a lot in our African terrain here. We've mentioned it quite a number of times. People praying for money, people praying for breakthrough and all that. But you and I would agree that nobody has ever seen dollar notes or dollar bills being rained down from heaven. You must give something in return for that money to be given in exchange. There must be a relationship in place. There must be an opportunity to serve. There must be an opportunity to offer a product, to offer a skill, to offer a service before you can actually be paid. So relationship is very, very important. And that is one thing many people miss out today. There are so many things you can get wrong in this journey, but access to the right people, access to people with clarity, access to people with direction, access to people who have the platform can actually change the life of anybody who has a dream they are pursuing. Because one right person can change the course of your journey. One right person can change your direction completely. And that is one important thing that we ought to know. Some people tell you, well, I don't need any man to succeed. I don't need anybody to do it for me, especially in the Christian circle. They tell you, God will do it. God will do it. You forget this thing now. God will not bless you from heaven. He needs people. If you are conversant with the Bible, as powerful as Elijah was, as prophetic and powerful as he was, he needed the widow of Zarephath as at a particular time for God to provide what he needed to survive the drought. God didn't say because he was a prophet, so prophets have a special privilege and there is a pipeline from heaven that releases food, bread, and supply. No. God still needed to connect him with somebody who is a widow of Zarephath as at that time for his supply to come. That tells us one important thing. Relationship is a key factor. Even God himself respects that. And for anyone who really wants to achieve their dreams, I think that one key thing that they need to pay attention to is that factor called relationship. It is very, very important. A few days ago, I was talking to somebody and he said he doesn't have money to start up the business that he wants. I said, you see, there is one wrong notion that people have to believe that it is only money that is called capital. I read economics way back in the university, and we were told that there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. But over time, I've come to understand that there is also another factor of production that people don't really talk about, and that is relationship. It's a key factor of production. Many people don't understand this. So while I was talking to the young man, I said, you are crying you don't have capital to start a business. Do you know that if you have integrity, it can serve for you as a capital for business? He said, what do you mean? I said, you see, if you can get one good person who can vouch for you, who can put in their foot and say, you see this person, I can pen down my signature for him or her. That alone can give you access to the goods you've been looking for, money to buy, to stock up your business and start running. But because you don't have the right people who are ready to put out words for you, you are struggling alone. As long as dreams, possibilities, these great things we want to achieve is concerned, relationship is a key factor. that we must pay attention to. And this is one thing that many people don't understand. Now, another key thing I want to talk about, which is I think is the last before I round up, is intentional growth.
Yeah, your time is almost up, sir.
Okay, talking about intentional growth. You see,
maybe you can give us the result of that intentional growth.
Now, the year is coming to an end. A lot of persons already have what we call New Year resolutions. In the year 2023, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. But here is one thing most people fail to understand. The man who has the dream, the man who writes the dream, is different from the man who achieves the dream. And what do I mean by that? Before you get to that dream that you so much admired and prepared for, you will pass through different stages of life that would require you to grow into another kind of person. The person who wants to become a billionaire, for example, in quotes, would have to grow into a billionaire within their mind. You'd have to grow your confidence into a billionaire. Automatically, what I'm trying to say is this. For you to get to that destination, you have to become another person. The person who has the dream is different from the person who achieves the dream, because from the point of the dreaming and to the point of realization will require growth. So anyone who really wants to, achieve their dreams, one of the steps they need to take is intentional, consistent, and deliberate growth. It must happen with your mindset. It must happen in your relationship. It must happen with knowledge. It must happen with everything around you. It has to grow. And until these things happen, it becomes very difficult for us to actually reach that place that we envision to get to. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. At least we were able to pick one key point from you, which is, according to our topic, we were able to pick that you said relationship is the key step. Thank you very much for your time. So I don't know if we have more questions. Emilia, please, you can help us for questions.
Well, funny you mentioned relationship. I was having a conversation with a friend today. In fact, we were speaking of business in the world is a trade. So I mentioned to that friend, and I said, even when it comes to relationships, it's a trade. And I'm happy that he mentioned the credibility, because, okay, so let me just get a little personal for a minute. My credibility precedes me. I lived in Houston, Texas. If I go to Houston, anyone asks you about Amelia Bywaters, they would bet their last dollar on that. So that to me is assets. And even here in Beijing, I do a program named Daily Nuggets. I mean, some people may not agree with me on certain things, but when it comes to credibility, when I call on someone, people will bet their last money on me because they say Amelia is a credible person. Thank you so much for bringing that one up. Miss Gloria Brown, can you jump in here, please, real quick?
Good evening.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this. I just want to say quick something, reasons why people are not achieving their dream.
But tell us who you are. Tell us who you are first. Tell us who you are.
Okay, my name is Gloria Brown. I'm the author of the book Prayer Works. Yeah, and the founder of Daily Oil Devotional and the founder of Gloria Brown Academy. So I'm a mother as well and a wife. I just want to be first.
From Nigeria.
Yes, from Nigeria. So I think, let me just quickly go. As a youth coach, one thing I see that makes people not to achieve their dream, one is that they focus in macro action rather than in micro action. They focus in macro action rather than micro action. For example, they want to lose weight. They think that they will go to gym and spend 3 hours to lose weight instead of every day 5 minutes of exercising. And when we focus on micro action without focusing on micro action, the dream will not be achieved. Secondly, many people focus in perfection instead of progress. We want everything to be perfected. We want to have 100% of everything we want before we step out. But perfection is not happiness. Progress is happiness. So if we look at progress, that will help us to achieve our dream. But if you are waiting for perfection, nothing like perfection. Therefore, we should ignore perfection and step out of the comfort zone. Thirdly, the thing that make people not to achieve their dream is that they are waiting for people to validate them before stepping out. Most reason is because they don't want to take responsibility if anything goes wrong. They want to be that somebody that is like, okay, let me say like, I'm not the cause of the problem. So I'm waiting for you to validate me. If anything goes wrong, you are the person that bring the decision and I just take action. So we always wait for people to validate us. Then the fourth one is people don't learn hard before borrowing hands. Just like what my brother that spoke last said now, people don't lend hand before borrowing hands. They just want to fly and be on top, but they never borrow hands. They never serve. They never come out to do something. They never participate in something. They just want to say, okay, I want to be this. Like, for example, 2 months ago, something like that, there was election that's going on in my community in Nigeria. So the person in charge of election is our family friend. And somebody said, oh, I knew that this person is your family friend. Can you tell the person to make me the counselor or something? I asked the person this question: what have you contributed to the community? And he said, nothing. I said, and you want to become a leader? You want to be a community vice chancellor, whatever. So we must learn to lend hand before we ask people to borrow us hand. Last but not the least, in the era we are now, knowledge is a new currency. It's not about how much you have in the bank, but what you have upstairs, the values you are bringing to the table. If you don't have that knowledge that will help you, because the truth is that your business, your dream will not outgrow more than what you have upstairs. Your dream, your goals will be determined by the knowledge you have. As a result of that, you have to be intentional to update yourself, because when you're not updated, you're outdated. If you're not climbing, you are sliding. So we must be intentional to update our knowledge, just what like my brother just spoke now said. So if someone who wants to achieve dream, but you don't want to challenge your comfort zone, you just want to be doing the same thing often, expecting the same different result, honestly, you will not achieve that dream. I love what Jim Rose said. He said, don't pray for better economy. Instead, improve yourself, improve your skills to meet the standard. Thank you so much, and God bless you, all of you. Thank you, Mama Emilia.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, sorry. So, in conclusion, what can you tell us in a single keyword? Like, what can we take back home? If you can help us.
Okay. What I want to say is this.
Yeah.
Don't focus on perfection.
Okay.
Progress is happiness.
Okay.
Because nothing like perfection. Focus on micro action, not on macro action.
Micro action. Okay.
So basically what you're saying is take it one step at a time.
At a time.
And you want to clean your house as a goal, don't go try to clean the entire living room when you know you can't finish in 2 hours. Do one chunk, do the few little details at a time. Okay.
Okay. So, but don't you think that will be with respect to time, because our current generation now are people who want to do things fast. So, what do you think about that? Because if I should take my time, it means that I may end up killing time, and which make me not productive.
No. Let me tell you, as a youth leader, I have seen some challenges we have in this generation, just like what you said, challenges of now. But may I tell you, multitasking is the most dangerous thing in life. Because imagine you are driving, yes, you are driving, you are sending email, you are all of those things, you are not giving them 100% attention. So if you focus on this and said, I'm gonna get this thing, get it and then move to another thing. Don't just like, oh, let me just jump. And why is it there is a steps? Like they say step 1, step 2, step 3 before you climb to, let me say, floor 19, floor 20, floor 21. Because each step has its own function. You can't jump step 1 and go to jump step 2 because you are going to floor 19. If you jump step 2 and leave step 1, definitely you wound yourself. You must follow that step because they have calculated how the length of human legs is and then fix the steps so that you will not wound yourself as you are stretching the legs.
Okay. Thank you. I think I will, Emilia, please, can I just give like 2-minute speech here, just to add to what she said as an experience?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and also we can give Ria a chance to speak too.
Okay. So thank you very much. Based on what you said, it reminded me of a man in South Korea. They call him Yonggi Cho. They call him the man with the big church. So from his experience, I'm just trying to link it up to what you said. So there was a particular time in his ministry, he was talking to the people and he was preaching about philosophy of how God created the universe, and stuff like that. So he went too deep in preaching about philosophy in the church. So after the program that very day, then some group of people, a couple came to meet him in his office. So the lady said the program was nice. That was her response. But the husband told Yonggi Cho that he suffered throughout his speech. So Yonggi Cho was shocked. So he asked the man, like, why, sir? Like, what? Don't you like my preaching? So the husband said that he's a professor of philosophy, that Yonggi Cho is a pastor, that a pastor should focus on the Bible, while let them who study philosophy focus on philosophy. So I'm just trying to link it up. So Yonggi Cho gave this as his experience, that from that very day, he learned to do what you said now, which is take each step, focus on its area rather than multitasking. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Michael, and then Ria, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emilia Bywaters, aka Daily Nuggets.
It's a nice program today.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful program. Listening to our professional speakers, I just want to contribute few points that I feel could contribute to life changing. The first one is to advise our audience, to able to acquire more skills in relevant fields that they are interested in. That is to read more books, to do more research. They should allow their brain to work for them as the number one source of wealth. The brain it should be seen as number one source of wealth. So we should allow our brain to work for us as the number one source of wealth. Then the second point is we should master our habits. We should master our habits. We should be in control over our habits, like drinking, gambling, and all those habits that causes setbacks. We should avoid this. completely. You know, we should allow these habits to, we should not allow these habits to control us, but we should be able to control all these negative vibes, negative habits. You know, the number 3 points that I will mention is have some savings, no matter how small. Invest wisely for the future. Have something to fall back on. You know, you shouldn't wait until that time you are broke before you now start regretting that I should have known, had I known. No, we should save for the rainy day. Think of some things to invest in and invest in those things. It will yield gradually, it will be yielding. You know, then the number 4 points is have a spiritual base. No matter your religion, make sure you are devoted and committed to it. Make sure you are committed and devoted to it. It works. I've seen it working over and over, times without number. You know, anybody who is spiritual shallow is dead. You know, then the number 5 points is flee from bad influence. Move with goal getters, as Evangelist Shegun Okewu said. Move with people that will sharpen you. Iron sharpness. The number 6 points to save our time is pay attention to your appearance. Dress to impress yourself, not another person, but dress to impress yourself. You know, the way you are seen is the way you be addressed. Then the last but not the least is let your name always be mentioned for good works. Let your name always be mentioned for good works. Not that when somebody mention your name, they say, that guy,